So recently there was a question on the community about workflow transition rules versus workflow triggered automation rules. Now I was trying to understand this question from Kevin, and Kevin is asking here, in a workflow I can create rules for triggers, conditions, validators, and post functions. I would like to know where in the sequence do workflow triggered or Jira automations take place. Specifically, if I create an automation that triggers on issue created, is it triggered after all the workflow post functions are triggered or earlier? And he's also asking about wouldn't it be nice if a workflow triggered automation rules show up in the list of workflow rules. Now, to answer this question, I'll probably open my workflow, one of my workflow. Now, in a workflow, you may have different transitions. Now, you do have this very first transition called create issue transition, which is the initial transition. And for this transition, you do have some post functions that are there by default. These are the essential post functions. And in Jira, there is a concept of event and listener. Now, a workflow can trigger an event, especially if you're talking about events like issue created and issue transition. For example, for this particular case where you have this issue created event, you can definitely add post function, your own custom post function, if you want something to happen in the workflow. And in case you want that post function to follow some kind of an order, then use the workflow post functions for that. But in case you are not really worried about the order of those things that can happen or that will happen, that you want to happen after the issue has transitioned, then use listeners in a script runner or maybe automation rules, because those are outside the workflow, and those rules, those listeners will basically wait for those events that can be triggered by the workflow. And again, whatever post function you want to add, you can add it here, but you always have the option, apart from the essential post functions, to basically define the order. Now, again, similarly, if you talk about any other transition, like maybe uh, done transition, like when you move the issue from to do to done or in progress to done, any non um, any not first uh, transition, which is of course usually there in all the workflows, because you want to do something with the issue when you create it, so you have other transitions. You also have these essential post functions like set the issue status to the linked status if um, you have, of course, different statuses, which I guess you have. Add a comment if one was entered. Update the change history, reindex the issue, and there is also one fire a generic event. Now, as you can see here in this particular workflow, you do have this event that will always be triggered. Now, these listeners, as I mentioned, these are separate. So when you configure a rule, make sure you create a rule with an event like issue created or issue transition, because these two ones are usually triggered by the post function, because you want to know that when the issue is created, maybe you want to send a notification or maybe you want to do something. But when you create a rule, it is outside the workflow. Although these are triggered by the workflow, and if you want to maybe identify these rules, then maybe use a tag in these rules. I talked about tagging using a label, because for some reason, if you want to create a group of those rules that are maybe triggered by a workflow, then create a label for it, and create a label for those rules where you have issue created and issue transition. Similarly, you can, if you're using script runner, listener, for example, they do similar thing, and those can be also triggered by these rules. You can always use some kind of a nomenclature in your rule name, that these are the rules that I personally prefix something like I usually prefix the this is of course one suggestion. You can prefix the name of your rule or listener, whatever you're creating, with the trigger, like this is the trigger, and then whatever you're doing. So it is up to you how you want to do it. But to answer, if I go back to the question is all about um, let me read the question. I forgot the question. So I would like to know where in the sequence do workflow triggered Jira automation take place. Now, if you're using a post function, then those post functions will follow the order. If you are using rules or listener, then there is no order. They will basically wait for the event trigger. Like there is a post function called fire that event. So once that event is fired by the post function, then those rules will do something if you want them to do something. And the other question is also about how to identify those rules triggered by a workflow. So use tag or use some kind of a nomenclature in your names. So that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you also learned something new today. Thank you very much.